Hi, my name is Nuri Nazia Bitizaki, and today I'll be presenting about what would happen if one of the elements is removed from the fire triangle. But before we get into that topic, what exactly is the fire triangle? So the fire triangle is a simple way of explaining the three elements that are needed for a fire to start and continue burning. These three elements are heat, fuel, and oxygen. Heat provides the energy needed for combustion. Fuel is the material that burns, and oxygen supports the burning processes. So all these three elements work together to keep a fire burning. So this brings us to the main question of my presentation. What would happen if one of these elements is removed? Well, if we think logically, remove even one element from the fire triangle, the fire can no longer continue burning and eventually goes out. There are three main principles used to achieve this: cooling, starvation, and smothering. So let's take a look at what happens when we remove each element. So first, if we remove heat, we use the principle of cooling by reducing the temperature of the fire. For example, by using water, the temperature can fall below the level needed for combustion. As a result, the fire will go out. Second, if we remove the fuel, this is called starvation because the fire needs something to burn. So if we remove or stop the supply of combustible material, there is no fuel left to support the fire. Therefore, the combustion process stops. And finally, if we remove or reduce oxygen, this is called the principle of smothering. For example, a fire blanket can be used to cover a small fire and prevent oxygen from reaching it. Without enough oxygen, the fire cannot continue burning and eventually will go out. So, in conclusion, removing just any of one of the elements of the fire triangle can interrupt the combustion process and extinguish the fire. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.